Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Angling, and man, I appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out the video. And one of the things about Intuitive Angling, if you've been watching it very long, is you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you're going to get fishing tips. I'm going to share a bunch of tips with you guys on things that have worked for me over 50 years in bass fishing, tell a bunch of stories. We're going to talk about environmental issues. We're going to talk about industry stuff, and we're going to talk about a lot of just conversational, just sort of abstract stuff a little bit, which is part of today's video. And I want to talk about how bass fishing has lost its soul and what I mean by that, and I'm going to dig into that in today's video. And the point of it, guys, is just to get everybody thinking. It's like, if you just want to learn how to rig Texas rig plastic worms, Intuitive Angling is probably not the channel for you. But if you want to think a little bit, I don't expect everybody to agree with me all the time, but if I can make you think, then I feel like, you know, I've done some good on these videos here. So we're going to dig into the fact that bass fishing has lost its soul here. And also, guys, for get started, man, just a big thank you out there for everybody that has been supporting Intuitive Angling, man. If you guys like the channel and you get something out of it, you know, hitting that subscribe button is a free and easy way to support the channel. Thank you, everybody that signed up and joined as a channel member. And especially, guys, thanks everybody that has been using all those links I put in every video description. I got that stuff like my Tackle Warehouse link in every video description, my Cast King link, all the products I use. All you guys that are using those links are really doing a big service to support the channel, and a big thank you from me and my family. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, this is a lot of what I'm going to talk about here. I touch on this type of stuff quite a bit because it's important to me. I am a historian of the sport. I love the sport. It's like a lot of people think that I'm critical of it, and the only reason I'm critical of maybe some of the power brokers in the sport now is I think in a lot of different ways the sport is not headed on. Well, not in a lot of different ways. In most ways, the sport is not headed in a good direction. And I feel like somebody like myself that has a big platform, you know, I get over 10 million views a month on my social media. I feel like I've got an obligation and a responsibility to leave it better than I found it. And it's not going that way, guys. The sport of fishing, and bass fishing in particular, is not better than when I started out. It's worse by far. So if I can bring some awareness to that, then I'm going to do that. So let's talk a little bit about why bass fishing has lost its soul. It's particularly lost its soul over the past 5 years or so. There's a lot of different reasons for this I want to get into. A lot of them we talked about before, but there's a lot of them we haven't talked about before. One of the ways that bass fishing loses its soul is when you remove the basic foundations of what fishing is. And the basic foundations of fishing, the number one foundation is that fishing is a pure sport, and you fish to find the fish. You don't know where the fish are at. It's a mystery. It's like the unknown. That unknown element has been powerful in our sport ever since it started. And it's only been about the past 2 or 3 years with the advent of electronic technology advancements, AI encroachment, forward-facing sonar. This isn't a forward-facing sonar video, but it's part of it. It's only been the last couple of years that we are really eroding the very foundation of what fishing is, which is taking the soul away from fishing by removing the unknown and the mysterious and the wonderment and the magical. Now, for all the people out there that say, oh, Randy, this is great, more people are getting into it, more young people are getting into it than ever before, that's not the point. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to make it easier for somebody to like the sport, because there wasn't anything wrong with it before. All you guys out there that are pre-forward-facing sonar era fishermen, you love the sport. You didn't have to have forward-facing sonar to get you in the sport. We don't have to have that to lure young anglers into the sport. Young anglers are lured into the sport today the same way they were when I was back in the 1970s, by that mystery and the magic and the unknown of what fishing is. And here's what I'll give you guys a good point. It's back when I was really learning how to fish when I was a kid. You know, back in grade school, we didn't catch very many fish at all. It's like my dad, you know, he liked to fish, but we didn't go very much. We went about once every 2 or 3 months. We'd go fishing to Grand Lake or Table Rock. He didn't have a depth finder. He didn't know a lot about bass fishing, but we'd go down there and throw plastic worms and hellbenders, and we'd catch some fish, but it wasn't easy. It's like we didn't catch them all the time. And anytime I went fishing, I didn't catch them all the time. It was not easy, but the few bites that we got were enough to like want me to get another one. It's like when I'd go wade a creek or something like that, and I'd find a nice little deep hole, and I'd cast a plastic worm in that deep hole over there, and I catch a 2-pound bass. That may be the only fish I caught all day long, but that was powerful. And it wanted me to get another bite. I didn't have to go out there and get 30 or 40 bites a day with using forward-facing sonar to develop a love for the sport. So one of the main ways that we are losing our entire soul of the sport is we are systematically removing the unknown and the wonderment and the magic away from fishing. And guys, you can point the blame. It's like, this is not inevitable. People say, oh, Randy, you can't stop progress, and that's just part of the evolution of fishing. Bullshit. That's not what it is. Follow the money, guys. This entire loss of soul that the fishing industry has is you can directly point your fingers to a handful of people with it. It's the power brokers in the sport. It's the electronic companies that have created these products and then pushed it upon the tournament organizations. And it's the leadership within the tournament organizations that enable this technology to take the soul away from the sport. So you can point fingers where the problem, this was not inevitable. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. And we've talked, I don't want to harp on this because we've talked about it before. I want to get into some other areas of it. We wouldn't even have this conversation, guys, if the owner of Bassmaster and the owner of MLF 5 years ago would have said, guys, this ain't fishing. This is not what fishing is. This is not what fishing is meant to be. We don't want any part of it. We are going to fish to find the fish. We are not going to hook up umbilical cords to our tournament anglers and give them an easy way out. So we are banning forward-facing sonar and any similar technologies moving forward. We wouldn't even be having this conversation, guys. It'd be the same with the conservation departments. If we had conservation departments and fisheries managers in this country that were actually capable and critical thinkers and look forward down to the future instead of having to assimilate every single data point over the, and slow walk it, we wouldn't be having these conversations either. They could have put a stop to it. So in essence, a big part of this loss that we're talking about right now is completely due to this encroachment of technology that has been forced upon us by literally, guys, a handful of people. There is literally a handful of people that you could gather around the dinner table at your house, and you can point the fingers at them for the problem that we're having in the sport right now. That goes into a different area with it. Next thing with it is like everything is too damn expensive. It's like one of the big reasons we're losing so much from fishing, and the soul of it is the income disparity amongst bass anglers right now is at an all-time high. I have never seen anything like it in my entire life. We have created this environment within fishing where it's becoming an elitist sport. The playing field was not fair because the tournament organizations have not put equipment limitations to make it a level playing field. So therefore, we have created this massive income disparity amongst bass anglers, and I see it all the time. I'll relate one story. I've told this before, but it perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. I was at a Bassmaster Open down at one of the lakes. I keep forgetting that lake down by Dallas, Texas, but it was one of those Bassmasters Opens down there. This has been about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was the last day practice. And I pulled my boat out to the top of the ramp there, and in front of me there was a truck and a boat, and this truck and this rig was like freaking pimped out like you wouldn't believe. It was a brand new, like an F-250 or F-350 Ford, brand new. It looked like it just come off the showroom. In fact, I think it still had dealer plates on it. It had one of those winches up front. It had an aftermarket lift kit on it. It had, lights on it. It had aftermarket tires. It was freaking pimped out. No doubt it was over $100,000 truck. And it had a brand new Ranger 521 on it. Again, it looked like it just came off the showroom floor. It had a Mercury 250 on it. It had five electronic units on it, the power poles, the whole 9 yards. And out of this truck pops out this kid that he didn't even look like he was shaving yet. He literally looked like about a sophomore in high school, driving this $250,000 rig, you know, in the tournament. I mean, literally, there's no way this kid was even 20 years old. So then I'm going out of the park there. I'm heading out of the park, out of the ramp, and there's a campground there, and there's another dude there that I saw him at the meeting. He's getting ready for the tournament. He had like a 1993 pickup that had rusted outsides on it. He had like an old, like it was some off-brand like Challenger bass boat. It's like the gel coat was all faded out on it. Single axle trailer. It had a 2-stroke Evinrude on it. He had 2 little like 5 or 7 inch, you know, LCD units up on his boat, just one up front and one on the console, and he was in the tournament. So when you're talking about income disparity amongst anglers that has really ruined the soul of this sport, that's a prime example of it. Both of those guys were in the tournament, yet they were on a completely different level as far as income. So when you talk about, you know, the financial part of it that's creating this gulf, the technological aspects that's creating this gulf, and one of the big things with it is the water quality issue that we have now. And this is another one that it just irritates the crap out of me, guys. We have got serious water quality issues in this country right now. We've got, you know, unregulated and uncontrolled spraying of toxic chemicals and herbicides on all of our lakes that have aquatic vegetation. We've got all type of mercury contamination, you know, from sulfur dioxide emissions from power plants in this country that are polluting our lakes. You know, we've got, you know, all the effects that man-made climate change is having on altering, you know, the biological rhythms and cycles of, you know, just our ecosystem in general on the lakes. And we have got a paradigm in this country that people ignore that. They don't want to hear about it. They don't care about it. They, you know, they don't listen to the science behind it. They have this attitude that it's like it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not a big deal. Quit whining and complaining about it. So we have a lot of just knuckle-dragging, science-denying bass anglers out there that do not understand the threats we have to the sustainability of our fisheries environmentally. You know, the water quality issues that we have. So this is another. We used to not have that, guys. Back in the 1970s, Ray Scott was suing. The Bass Angler Sportsman Society had dozens of lawsuits against polluters across the country that were polluting our waters. Ray Scott initiated those lawsuits. We don't have that anymore. It's like, what happened to that? You know, we've lost those critical thinkers and the people that were really concerned about the future of the sport, like Ray Scott. And now it's just, we just have a bunch of money grubbers out there. So anyway, guys, that's just a few of the ways that we are losing the soul of the sport. We have got to get back to a more simple way. We have got to take it back. This is not progress, what we've seen. What people classify as progress in the sport, as far as innovations and new stuff like that, is actually, it's a reversal of that. It's actually we're taking a step backward is what we're doing. It's not progress, it's de-evolution of the sport, and you can all trace it back to money, guys. Like I say, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, money corrupts everything. Money is corrupting bass fishermen, the bass fishing industry. Money is corrupting bass fishing in general. It's tearing down the sport. And until we can address that and, you know, bring that to the forefront of our reality and have people think about stuff like that, and just said, instead of just, you know, how many more fish they're going to catch, the future of the sport is in doubt for sure. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. We'll talk later.